Hi guys. It's Friday and we do our regular AMA, and nothing can change that actually. So I understand that you probably have a lot of questions regarding the status of the ecosystem, because there was this like announcement yesterday from Korean Association of Exchanges. So probably let's start with that. What happened yesterday, basically. So nothing happened within waves. So as you know, we've been having some like issues as a lot of projects in crypto for like last several months due to like well-known reasons. But okay, so we are working on the resolution of the situation, and nothing changes on our end. Basically, what happened yesterday, there is the Association of Korean Exchanges, which includes top 5, I think, exchanges in Korea: Upbit, Bithumb, several others. And they actually published some announcement regarding their kind of like some kind of like investigation regarding Waves token and its connection to USDN. Because as you know, if you follow Waves ecosystem, USDN is in like DPEG situation now, and it actually was the exchanges. They don't really try to understand the connection. I'm not trying to, to be negative about them, but this is just the case. And probably you understand why, because they had a situation with a very famous coin in Korea. So they're like kind of scary of similar situations. So it's like understandable. It's understandable, very much understandable. But on the other hand, it's like quite easy to explain the current situation to you and to everybody, basically. So USDN, as you know, is just a project on top of Waves. So it's not connected to Waves itself. It's just an application, the app. So it's like disconnected from consensus, for example. So it can have no impact on Waves itself. And there is around like 4 million Waves locked in the contract now, which is quite small actually. This is less than volume, daily volume on some of those like Korean exchanges. So it's pretty small. And even if you just sell all the Waves from the contract, it won't have very like significant effect on anything, basically, But they kind of, probably they just react to some kind of like public perception, and we understand that, yeah. But on the other hand, we are like working on redoing the protocol, because in current market conditions, obviously USDN needs some kind of like rehaul, and not a really relaunch, but some kind of tweaks. And we basically announced them, and we will expand on that later. So there is going to be like a separate treasury for USDN, like LP based. So basically you will be able to participate in the treasury. It's going to be kind of riskless. So yeah, your funds like can be withdrawn anytime, because it's going to be like an LP token, basically. There is going to be a separate market making process, and it won't be like we move from like purely algorithmic setup to some kind of like DAO setup. This is like DAO stable coin backed by crypto, basically. And the community will decide on the parameters, on the distribution of like some potential treasury profits, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be very flexible. I think it's a pretty unique idea. It actually takes time to implement it, obviously, because the idea is pretty simple and clear, actually. But we can't launch a new coin, obviously. We have to transition USDN, which kind of like, I can't say it failed, yeah, but it did fail in, okay, I admit that. In market conditions that we had, it kind of failed. Because actually, the problem was I didn't expect those market conditions, to be honest, and it was not meant to actually to exist in those conditions. Unfortunately, yeah. So we have this new model and we have USDN, and we have to somehow like transition between them, from the current model to the new one. And it takes time, basically. Yes, for example, there is not going to be any kind of like back-in ratio idea. So it's not going to impact serve holders. There's going to be another setup for serve holders, which I think would be quite attractive for them. But the back-in ratio will somehow go, and the goal will be basically to maintain the peg through market-making bot, which can be done on Waves. It cannot be done on Ethereum, for example, but we actually decided to use the features that are more like Waves native, so and that stablecoin will focus on Waves ecosystem. We're not going to be trying to, to push it to other ecosystems like hard. We need to grow Waves, and that's why it will be based on features available on Waves only. For example, you can just like create some kind of like multi-signature account controlled by the DAO, and there can be a bot, like traditional bot, not on-chain contract, but just offline backend bot that trades that account, which is pretty unique to Waves. And it's still decentralized because you can see what it does. You can withdraw the funds. So, but it allows for like more complicated trading algorithm, obviously. Yes, so the plan is quite clear. It takes time to implement it, and there's going to be some announcement very soon. I think we will preparing something. It can be actually announced today. There's going to be some voting that should help support current USDN peg, because this is what exchanges care about. Yeah, so we are moving. Sorry, there was something wrong. I thought that they were not hearing me. Yeah, but I think it's fine. Let me just check. Yeah, sorry. It's all good. Yeah, that's it. So to summarize, not to dwell on the topic for too long without like giving you new information. We're moving like according to plan. Basically, it was announced, and that announcement was kind of unexpected. We did our own announcement explaining that the current state of USDN would not hurt Waves, even if even if you just withdraw all the Waves from the contract, it wouldn't have any impact. And we move on according to our plan, and we do understand their concerns about the peg, because probably this is what people are asking, so probably they understand. I don't think they're like, uh, uh, they do understand, okay, probably, because it's not complicated, it's not rocket science. But the community probably just wants to see the pack, and they kind of associate waves with USDN somehow. And what can you do? So this is the fact. So we have to somehow take that into account, and we will be like working with the exchanges to make sure that they understand the current situation better, and their communities do that as well. So basically, that's it. And let's just find some questions in the chat, I guess. So if you have some questions, just ask in the YouTube chat. I am in Europe now, guys, not in Dubai. Yeah, I'm in Switzerland currently. What happens with all the other neutrino currencies? I think they're going to be doing fine if neutrino does fine, so wave zero. I love you too. Any plan to make an USDN Lambo investment product? I think Lambo will be like, I would say like relaunched, because we will actually create some kind of trading strategy for the new USDN. The idea is the following, basically. So if you participate in USDN treasury, it should be riskless. Yeah, but obviously the rewards won't be like incredible. But if you want to take some risk, you can participate in trading strategies, which will also be transparent, but they're not risk-free. But on the other hand, the reward to risk ratio is higher. So we will just transform Lambo into that product that should help us basically lock more waves. Basically, this is the idea here. Because we, as you understand, we have like a very high free float now after all those events, unpleasant events. We need to basically lock more waves in contracts, and this is what this strategy should help us do. Yes, iconic sounds. The performance of USDN has no impact on the overall health of the Waves ecosystem. This is kind of true, of course. Even if like USDN fails, we'll do our best and it won't fail. But even if it does, Waves will exist. Nothing bad will happen to Waves. Maybe some like price dump because of those like association with the USDN, like public association. But there is no like technical one, as you understand. But Waves will move forward no matter what happens with the USDN. But I totally understand that we just can't do that because we are not that like other famous project. And we will resolve this, guys, and there is of course some like FUD, but like, okay, we've been handling this FUD for like more than half a year now, so it's okay. Sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's easier, but okay, what can I do? I'm basically, and you need to understand that I'm like prepared for anything, because this is like, whatever comes, I'm okay with it, because I will be doing my thing no matter what happens. And that thing is trying to create something that matters and something that is like valuable and something that potentially is good for people, so and nothing can basically break me. So my might sound a little bit like, like to kind of like some kind of like grandstanding, but this is what it is, Okay, to your questions. Let's just be more like factual. Power. When will Power DAO be released? So there's going to be an airdrop and the release of the basic features of the mother DAO before the new year. And this is going to be like, there's going to be several stages to that airdrop, and the first stage will be live late December. This is like questions from Dev No War. Don't you apply to Binance for FTX bankruptcy recovery funds? Actually, we did apply. So like, let me not comment on this because I think Binance has its own plan. Now, either it's good or bad. Okay, it's not my thing to discuss that, and it's not my like prerogative to discuss that. So it's like, I wouldn't actually try to say, publicly anything like anything about that. Why you can't just shut ESDN off? It's kind of like easy to explain because first, I think that it's a good project. This is very important. This is the real reason why I don't want to shut it down. And the other things in ways depend on it. And there is like other reason as well, which is not maybe so important, but hear me out, basically, yeah? So there is this perception among centralized exchanges that it somehow like works like that other famous stablecoin, which is not the case. So there is like very tight association, like in communities of those sexes between Waves and USDN. So basically they want USDN to like be back to pack ASAP. Otherwise, they are saying that there is a big problem that Waves should resolve or else. So I think we should try and resolve it, even just because of that. Because if we don't want to have like too much like volatility or some kind of like turbulence, we just need to resolve this, and make them happy. That's it. And we'll even just because of that, setting aside all those other things, why USDN is good. GRAN, the grayscale. Hi. Will the idea of self-liquidation still exist in the new concept? Definitely, yes. So we need to make sure that you guys don't suffer. Yeah, so we won't forget about that. Yeah, let me just maybe a lot of questions today. A lot of Korean guys. Hi guys. Sorry, I can't read Hangul. I really wish I could. Maybe sometime when I have more time, because it's like it looks very interesting, and it's like one of the most innovative alphabets in the world. So yeah, so we are like working with the Korean community now. We have a new community manager. We are working directly with exchanges, and there is a lot of fun in the Korean community. like, because I didn't know, because we were in Korea. And I'm being very honest with you, and very blunt, because I have nothing to hide. So we were in Korea, but we kind of didn't notice that, so, but there is like a lot of thought, like bad thought about waves. And there is some Koreans actually. We will do some AMAs for Korea, because it's just like insufferable, what people write about waves. This is like fucked up, absolutely. And there's like, and I want to make one thing very clear, guys. People are like writing that like somebody made money with them, stole money and such, So, and I always challenge people, So if you trace that money, you're welcome to have it. Okay, guys. So this is like an official challenge. So I don't like hold any crypto besides Waves, and this is a public account from the ICO in 2016, which has around 3 million Waves currently, which is not much. And I also assumed the bad debt on Virus, and I have that USDN from the debt. This is basically all I have. So you're very welcome to try and trace anything else, like properties, cash, whatever, guys. You're very welcome. I don't even have a car, so because I'm here for the tech, believe it or not. Okay. And just like, once again, it's like, there is your challenge for you. Trade the funds and you're welcome to have it. When will you repay the bad Virus debt you're holding? I have to convert to USDN for that. Oris Dorch, a guy from Twitter. I know, yeah. This doubled neutrino TVL, which bragged about December 16. December 16. It's like last year, like a year ago. It was long before. Did you or the team have any involvement in this inflation of USDN TVL? Yeah, probably we issued some USDN, dude. Yeah, we did. Definitely, we did, because that was the idea, basically, to create a decentralized stable coin, which would compete with other stable coins, and for that, you need to have a high market capitalization of it, So we obviously were doing some like market making for USDN, because that was the plan. And it wasn't only us. There was like a lot of like people who were doing that. So and our goal here was mostly business development, so we promoted USDN as good as we can, as well as we can. Sorry. And also we did some market making. And I won't hide that because this is obvious. And the goal for me was to promote, you do something, you promote it. It's very simple to understand. A lot of Korean people, guys, we will have an AMA for you. And we will address all the thought that came up in the Korean community, because it's really too much, it's like really strange. about the bridges. Yeah, there is some kind of like heavy load situation, and the transactions are being processed like maybe not so fast, but it will be resolved as well. Just give us time. Any plan for Surf? Yes, just give me a little bit more time to properly articulate it and announce it. Because if I say something now, let's just make it like in a written form. When will the new concept be activated? There's going to be some time that we will need to take for that. But the first things will happen next week, I guess. Treasury and such. How much time you think this will take to be solved? The MOP 2022. Depending on like external market conditions, guys, because I basically had some other plan when the situation with other famous guys started in spring. I won't like mention any names, but you know them. I thought that it would be resolved like faster and through some like different means, unfortunately, but it kind of like exacerbated, so, and those famous guys like fucked up like completely, so, and affected the whole market, so there's some external factors which we should take into account, but we will try to somehow put up a wall between us and those like external bad actors, so if everything goes well, we will be on the road to to normalcy again. I think around January, maybe, so it doesn't mean that everything will be resolved in one day, but it will be more stable, and there's going to be some kind of like process when people, for example, can withdraw their liquidity in small portions, but like consistently, which is not the case now. So we need to basically get back on this right track, so to say. Yeah. iPhone reading. Yeah, I know. Sorry, can disclose more info about NSBT, how it will coexist with Treasury. So swaps from the contract will not go away immediately. They will still be working. So NSBT holders will be receiving fees. Eventually, I think the plan will be, this is a plan, this is the current plan, okay. I think this is what we should stick to. Basically, there's going to be a DAO vote to buy back NSBT from its current holders eventually. And all those features that were attached to NSBT will be transferred to the DAO. So this is how I see it currently. So some NSBT holders made very decent profits, some didn't. So we need to make sure that nobody loses money. And what is happening with BTC algo trading? I think it's still working, but we're gonna phase it out slowly, so because probably that wasn't the best product implemented on Waves Exchange. And we should somehow separate investment products. We should keep maybe a couple, like LP staking pools. Yeah, there's going to be basically pools and LP staking. That's it, because LP staking will stay there because LP pool Waves pools seem to be too complicated for like some people. There is this boosting thing which not everybody can wrap their heads around. So if we build LP staking on top, which is easier to understand, I think it's good because when you deposit in LP staking, and your funds are like transferred by a smart contract to put to the pools, there is some boost like with your profits. So it's very easy, and actually it increases the TVL in the pools, and also is like easier to understand for people. So we will keep LP staking. We will separate. We will just like take Lambo strategy out. Maybe we'll rename it as well, because yeah, we should rename it, I guess. So there's going to be only pools, which are important for Waves Exchange, and LP staking connected to the pools. It's just some kind of like wrapped pools. That's it. What Waves at $50 are we going to that price next year? Mark is asking. Let's see how it goes. So we definitely have a lot to offer because there's going to be Waves 2.0. We're working. We started the development. We're going to publish the white paper soon for the next version of the network. It's going to be a very unique network. There's going to be some plans regarding L2 built on top of Waves. Also, like in terms of applications, we launch PowerDAO framework, which is also unique. Nobody tried anything like that before because it changes like the governance models. It does not like try to just do some like voting with tokens, and treasury distribution as Current DAO do, but it tries to improve the governance itself, the mechanism, which is interesting. There's going to be also some like DAOs built on top of Power. That is like, for example, community DAO, which invests in projects on Waves. There's going to be some like offline project, and like some kind of like real world DAO. A lot of things actually are in the works. So we have a lot to offer. So guys, if we are able, to work with you together with the community, I think anything is possible. And Waves is like a people's stable coin, it's like people's coin. USDN will be a people's stable coin. And we have always been working for you guys. Maybe we should make it more clear in the future, because our goal is to create an ecosystem. I'm not saying financial ecosystem, because it's more than just finance and money. And there is too much fixation on money in crypto now. An ecosystem, that actually is very inclusive. It is like for everyone, and you can do whatever you want in it. And it's fair, it's transparent, it's not predatory. It's like for the people, so because I think the world is going through a very bad phase now when the society models that have been in place for centuries, they just stop working, and societies are just like shaking, so we need new models of how we live together. And this is what blockchain is about for me. So this is what we will be trying to do. And we won't be distracted by all those like things with market manipulation and so on and so forth. Nick Barella is asking about the price of the buyback. Yeah, we have to think on that, guys, a little bit. as you understand, we are trying to make sure that nobody suffers any losses, so this is even if it takes time, so this is our goal. So if you're like thinking that you lost some money, please don't do anything drastic, because we are working to make you whole. Any ideas about disabling USDN to serve swap on Verus? Yeah, basically it is disabled. Yeah, I think it's time to make a pause. Ivan Drago is asking me if I play soccer. I played not so much now, maybe once a year, but I do a lot of sports. Sasha, what do you think about Tomasz Bakowski is asking? Sasha, what do you think about taking part of fee on every USDN transaction and move that fee to burn USDN? But it will be pretty hard to do in current USDN setup, although the idea is interesting. How was it possible to borrow 600 KWs yesterday on Verus when borrowing is disabled? Not all the borrowing, I guess, is disabled on Verus. You should actually check. So the platform somehow like works, so it's not totally shut down. Why can't NSBT coexist with DAO? It actually can. The problem is the financial incentive. So it can exist if, for example, because eventually there won't be any fees, it's because it all will be governed by Treasury. So there's not going to be any smart contract fees. At least this is the way I can see it now. And in this case, financial incentive to hold NSBT won't be that big, but it will still have its governance functions. So if they are like sufficient to create some like holding interest, maybe we'll just keep it. But this will be up to the DAO to decide. Yes, gateways, guys, we're working on that. And as for the gateways, actually, people are asking about proof-of reserves and such. So there is like a new version of gateways. They're like fully transparent and decentralized, which is developed by like an external team in Waze ecosystem. And I think the first tokens will be implemented around January. So, and the current bridges will eventually be phased out slowly. But of course, so we need to make them work well until this happens. So we're working on that. Fadi Pro, I believe you and the whole team, but is there an exit plan for USDN if you can't fix it? Okay, guys, so, let's just like make it very clear now, yeah? So I won't sugarcoat it, and I'm not trying to be a politician. Probably it makes sense just to be blunt. Anything can happen. But we are doing our best, and I'm doing my best to like move USDN to that new model, which will be more like acclimated, so to say, to current market conditions. But if it doesn't happen, what happens? Actually, nothing happens. There is some like kind of like turbulence, obviously, but to waves, what happens to waves? Waves keeps working, the chain keeps working the way it works now. So basically nothing changes because it's like USDN is not waves. It's just some contract, so just some application. And there's going to be some like issues, for example, with pools, with some like, it's not going to be nice, of course. And I want to avoid this at all costs. But even if it does happen, waves won't be broken, so, and maybe, so there's going to be some new avenues for growth, but let's not go into that direction because our goal is to make sure that nothing drastic happens. I wish I knew Hangul, guys, in Korean language. I wish I had more time to learn Korean because it's very like intriguing. It's incredibly intriguing. Can't you make a deal with a gold silver supplier to make a gold and silver backed coin? Yeah, I've seen and I've talked to so many people over the years about that. It's kind of hard, somebody will crack it, I guess. Are you planning to buy back waves to increase its price? Not sure about the buyback, but we'll probably come up with some other ways to support the price. Are you still in talks with VCs? Yes, but it's not a very good moment, because it's actually interesting. A little bit off topic. I think there is like some like VCs with like contrarian views, and they are investing now. There are not so many of them because like older crypto VCs or VC that invested in crypto are kind of like scared, of crypto. But there is like a new breed of VCs. Maybe they're gonna do better because this is a very good moment actually. If you do understand the situation, it's a very good moment actually for VCs. Phoenix is asking, and SBT can govern the protocol while the DAO governs treasury. SBT can list, yeah, it can be done actually, yeah, can be done. Thoughts about Alameda FTX? I think I commented on that. And I just don't want to comment on it anymore because it's like, it will sound like I'm trying to push the blame, so. And so the situation was very bad. We were kind of like unprepared for it because I'm like not new in crypto. As you know, I am in crypto like full time since 2014, maybe. Yeah, but this situation was like something that I hadn't experienced before, so we were kind of unprepared. And yeah, that situation actually caused the current state of affairs. But I'm not gonna try to push the blame because you have to be prepared for anything. And I am like prepared for anything now, you know. So, and about Alameda, it's a very complicated story. You know, nobody knows what actually happened. I kind of like have my ideas about what happened. I won't disclose them. But I think it was inevitable, you know, because just maybe like a couple phrases should be said about that just to, you know, share with you. That situation didn't start this year. It started at the end of 2020, I guess, with a crazy pump around December, if you remember. And that's when I understood that something was like seriously wrong, because that pump was like absolutely unnatural and it couldn't last. And that's what happened, you know. There had to be some kind of like a liquidity crunch, cool off type of situation, and it happened. You know, and there's always someone who triggers that. You know, if you see like big market crashes, there is always something that triggers them. And here it was Alameda, Luna. Yeah, but it was inevitable, and I personally thought that it wouldn't happen so fast. I maybe had some kind of like lone bias, thinking that crypto will do better in the short run, because it actually was pretty reasonable in current conditions with the economy that people will be investing more in crypto to basically tackle inflation. And it was a case somehow, you know, because in the US, for example, there was this like crazy crypto hype, and actually everybody was investing in crypto. But you know, those like free markets, and crypto is like probably the freest, the most free market that exists currently, have their own like drawbacks, you know, because it's very easy to manipulate and it's very easy to attract people, and crypto has crazy outreach. It can reach out to everybody, you know, to people in Africa, to anybody, bankless people. And it's easy to, you know, to create those bubbles. And this is what happened. And maybe crypto is even more susceptible to those bubbles than, for example, stock market, because there is no regulation, which is probably a good thing, but it depends, you know, on what you want to regulate. Public markets have their issues, you know, because it's very easy to create some bubbles, you know. So when you attract so many unsophisticated investors who just buy because the price goes up, you know, that's it. And it creates a bubble, obviously. And they can be like created artificially, but then they just explode, you know. So, and this is what we see in crypto. It had to happen, and it started like 2 years ago. I thought that it would take more time, but we have what we have. Thanks for the email, Sasha. I wish you good health. People wish me good health all the time, guys. I'm okay. Thank you very much, though. Yeah, maybe I'm tired, like kind of like, but not really actually. And I'm not that stressed because, you know. do I hold any surf? Yeah, I do have some. Just bought something. Yeah, but it's not much. When we'll be able to conduct a proper debate on a neutrino protocol, its existing tokens, and its future mechanics? Anytime, guys, because we are discussing it every like 24/7. Aztec is Aztec Gold Hero is here. Hi, Aztec. Nice to see you here. Thank you for your support. Turkish community is great and very passionate. Okay, guys, not so many questions. Maybe there is a list. I didn't answer to the prepared list of questions. A couple of questions from the list, from the team. Do you have a vision for 2023 for Waves? What is it? So it's a new network, and in terms of applications, its focus will be mostly on DAO, Power DAO platform, and also on this new concept, which we call SafeFi, and people now started to call like real fi. You know, it's kind of weird. I think we'll stick to SafeFi. This is like DeFi projects with like predictable behavior, you know, so you don't have any surprises when you participate. What impact do you think CBDCs will have on the crypto industry? I think it will be very negative, and this is probably why the whole thing that we have now is happening, because like every bank, every central bank in the world is launching its CBDC pilot now, you know, and it happened after Alameda. Do you think it's a coincidence? I'm not sure. And because we tried to participate when we were in Russia, we are not in Russia anymore, but we actually tried to participate in like Russian central bank currency project, but then we left, and I'm not gonna be participating or trying to participate in anything like that in future, because this is just bad. This is bad, you know, guys. It's a way to control the population, and it's not about freedom, it's about something else. And we work for a better world, not for everyone, not for a better world for some people. When can we expect a more in-depth explanation of the treasury? We will do it ASAP, yeah. What are the plans for Waves VM, virtual machine, probably? So the current plan is the following. It might change, actually, because currently what we have more or less set in stone is the new consensus. But VM is some kind of like application on top in a way, you know, and I don't know how we can implement EVM in Waves directly. But it's hard. It's going to be hard and maybe not worth it even. But we will implement it as L2. Yeah. Approximately when can we expect this new setup to be up and running? It's obviously about Neutrino. Like December, January. Currently, the price action is kind of hurting my eyes. Yeah, it's a difficult time for Waves. Yeah, it's true. But what we can do, we can work harder. Yeah, so I ran out of questions, but the last one was pretty like dark. How can we make the most of this bad market? Start some project, guys. I'm not like advising you to buy any tokens. It's like up to you, but it's just a good moment to start something in crypto, because a lot of people have crypto now, you know, so it went down in price, but everybody has crypto now and they have to do something with it, right? So you can offer them something. It's a very good moment. Phoenix again. Can you explain more how leading SBT swap power to treasury for a share of the profits could work? But it can work here, you know, because there can be some interaction between an SBT or USDN contract and the treasury, because they're like two separate entities. And treasury can, for example, lease or like the other way around. And an SBT contract can lease an SBT to treasury, and treasury can vote using it. It's doable. What are the like final questions, like final 3 questions? Vladimir, LFG, absolutely. What are the countermeasures for the Korean market? So yeah, let me explain. So we made that announcement. It is, guys, it's pretty bad actually. We're trying to resolve the situation and you are kind of like not helping, because I love Korea, like it's like great country, yes, but we will have to do some AMAs to explain the current situation, because people are like posting some total crap. And like I was like, there's a new guy, his name is, okay, maybe I don't want to mangle his name, Taik, in our team, and he like he compiled some list of the thought from Korean community, and it's like it hurts, you know. So we will have to address all those questions one by one, because it just can't stand that. And obviously there's this like language barrier, unfortunately, and you just don't know what's happening, you know. So people are saying some really bad stuff about you and you don't know about that. It's bad. So, and we will do AMAs. We work with this association. Also, we like trying to talk to some lawyers. It's not finalized yet. I don't know whether we proceed with them or not, but in any case, we are talking. What else? Yeah, and we will be like more active. Whatever happens, we will be more active in the Korean community, because I think that this is one of the most like engaged communities for Waves. Will team add major altcoins to Verus system and also Waves exchange? Yeah, I remember Azteki proposed that. Probably yes, but we have to work on the gateways first. As Waves Turkey, we're always with you. Thank you very much, guys. I love Turkey. Turkey is great. Any plans to operate in Saudi Arabia? A lot of our guys are in Dubai. Yeah, so it's possible. Will the new serve mechanic be activated together with the new treasury next week? Maybe not at the same time, but it will be activated. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think I answered most of your questions. I hope you received the answers that you expected. We are working for you. No matter what happens, we are here and we're going to be here because we were here, we are here, and we will stay here. And we'll be trying to create some value and do good things. Thank you very much, guys. Ride on waves. Speak to you next Friday. Have a great week.